Hello and welcome to the next episode of Next Stop, where we're taking deep dives into the campus community of West Liberty University and see what people are up to in the time of COVID-19 and beyond. And here we have a really special group of people whose worlds have changed, but they've stepped up to the plate in all kinds of different ways. And the numbers are saying that they're doing a great job, which they always do. But it'd be really interesting to know in the world of recruitment and international studies, how is West Liberty University reacting? And so today we have, in our little Brady Bunch screen here, we have Brenda King, our Executive Director of Admissions and Recruitment, Stephanie North, Associate Director of Admissions and Associate Registrar, and Mia Szabo, Director of International Enrollment Services, International Student Advisor. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good.
Happy Monday.
Yes.
So Brenda,
Yes.
we'll start with you. You've seen a lot in your time at West Liberty University. A lot of challenges. Tell us
Never
about.
seen this. Never seen this, but yeah, I've been here for a while.
Tell us about your world before, and then things that have happened since.
Okay. Okay. So I'm the Executive Director of Admissions and Recruiting. So we handle all things undergraduate on the admissions side and the recruiting side. So we're pretty much geared up. We just had, we handle a lot of the recruiting efforts. So we were out on the road recruiting all the fall semester, and we were just getting ready to gear up and do our spring recruiting events, and we are gearing up with our campus events. As you know, the campus event is critical to us here at West Liberty. We like that face-to-face. We like to show them our beautiful campus. And we had already had one Black and Gold Day, and we were just gearing up to do our Accepted Students Day, which is a day that is designed to help these students go on to the next step. To become a Hilltopper. So it'd be like, how do they, make sure about their housing, make sure about their financial aid, get them registered for classes. And unfortunately, that was at the end of March, and the COVID-19 and the pandemic and the shutdown. Wow. And we just had to regroup and carry on. So
You one of the things that I like here that you say is that once a student comes on campus who's interested, the percentage of those students who actually come to West Liberty is really high, right? So that
really high.
That must be frustrating or another challenge.
It is, and our numbers over the last several years have just been, each year we get more and more visitors to our campus, both students and their families, and we enjoy that time, and we create events to kind of help them through what we call the funnel from the perspective. And the spring is one that we gear our attention to those students, both first-time freshmen and transfer students. We gear it to get them to come on campus and make that connection if they haven't already been here, or to come back again, and to walk them through those next steps. In addition to that, we had April 4th was supposed to be our open house event, which is a huge event that faculty, staff, all of us are involved with that program. And that is probably the first surge that we're trying to work on the following year's enrollment class too. So, and then we just, I guess we're in this is week number 6, beginning of week number 6. Is that what it is? So, fortunately for the Office of Admissions, our admissions counselors and several of us, we're on the road recruiting. So it's not like working remotely from home, but they're used to being on the road, and they're used to doing their work remotely through their laptops, their phones, and visiting events. So we had a little bit, maybe some of the other offices, a little bit of a head start, because our systems are web-based and cloud-based, so we can use our systems without having to be on campus. But, I'm very, very proud of the whole staff. I mean, I enjoy them immensely, and they do an awesome job. They're just, I get emails at 12:30 at night asking me if I've heard something, and it's just like, oh, geez, you're supposed to learn to stop working. Yeah.
Stephanie, the same thing for you. Like, tell us about your world, but also how many students are we approximately talking about as an incoming potential freshman class? And then also, I know you're on the front lines of always talking to students and parents.
Yes.
Are you still hearing from them? Are things different? Are you Zooming with them?
Yes. So, communication, engaging the students right now is the big key. So we have all established an Book Me account, so students can go online, and it's on our email, it's on the website where they can go on and book a specific appointment with us. They just pick the time. It sends an email to us and then also to them confirming the appointment. And then what we do is basically however they want to proceed, whether they want to do it over the phone, whether they want to do a Zoom, whether they want to communicate by email. So whichever communication preference they prefer. And we've also been doing the texting, emailing, and using all of our social media outlets to help engage the students and keep them connected, because that's the key thing, is to keep them connected to campus and make them make sure that they're following all the procedures and going through everything.
Cool.
And, like Brenda said, this is a busy time for us right now. We have a lot of things going on. The main thing right now we would be doing would be getting ready for the scholarship award ceremonies in the high schools. So that's a big thing. We try to attend as many of those as we can. So we had to change that up, and what we have done is we're mailing out the certificates. We're having a letter prepared to mail out to all those students to recognize their accomplishments, because we don't want that to go by the wayside either. These students have worked hard for these scholarships and the recognition, and we want to make sure that they are getting their due.
Are you also speaking with athletes? And are they asking questions about, will the sports happen next year, or are there challenges there too?
Yes, I've had a couple contacts, with some athletes, but, they haven't questioned that, just making sure they have everything in and making sure they have all their requirements and credentials and everything in to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention too, with transfer registration, since that's kind of what I kind of oversee, that's going to be coming up here shortly. We had it scheduled initially for May 12th, 13th, and 14th for transfers to sign up. They go on and they sign up for a specific date according to their major, and then they get a confirmation telling them to contact the department chair or dean to set up their individual appointment, and we would have them come to campus. We would meet with them one-on-one. They would meet with their faculty advisor to prepare their schedule. That has now gone virtually. So we're going to be doing that with them virtually because we can't have crowds and everything on campus. We don't know if we're even going to be back on campus in May. So we've had to kind of step that up, and we've kind of changed that up.
Okay. Awesome. So a lot going on in both of your worlds.
Yes.
Now, Mia, the spotlight is on you. So I would say that on one hand, a lot of what you have done over your career at West Liberty has been somewhat virtual, because you're dealing with people around the world who can't come to campus. But on the other hand, I think a whole new set of challenges have come your way. Speaking from someone who almost got stuck in India for months. So tell us about the world of international students at West Liberty before COVID. How many students were here? Tell us about what you do, and then how things have changed.
Yeah, so my area is a bit different. I handle international admission, but also international immigration support services. So I see the students from the time we first interact until they graduate, which is such a beautiful circle. So we develop a very close relationship. So I would say the international students for the International Center West Liberty first interacted with the impact of coronavirus is The international students have been first to be hit because their families have been first affected before the coronavirus arrived in the United States. So we were counseling and trying to learn what's happening abroad, and how this is developing, and how we can help our students, but also prepare for unforeseen situations as we are right now. So once things progressed and the virus was here, as you know, we had to advise our students before even the university took a stand on moving the classes online. The students were coming to for advices and like what to do. You know, borders were closing, travel bans, immigration bans were being imposed by different countries. So they were in a spot, and each student was like very in a unique situation. So there were a lot of personal decisions and factors to consider. So they had a lot to navigate, and we had to really act very fast. So we couldn't wait for, you know, the administrative decisions. So like a lot of the students were very unsettled early before the rest of the campus become unsettled. You know, they were afraid and worried of like, what's happening? What should I do? So I think we acted really fast, and most of our students had the opportunity to leave when flights were still going on and affordable. And before, you know, I've read a lot of the news, a lot of students being stuck in airports or in other countries of transit. Luckily, none of that happened to our students, and you know, we're so grateful. And then, you know, there were the situations that couldn't leave the campus. So we still have students on campus because their countries have the border closed. Nobody can come, or they have to go through like quarantine. So you know, they have to really think of like, okay, if I go home, how do I do the 14-day quarantine? Will I stay in a hotel? You know, the living situation is different for each family. So here, you know, most people are very fortunate to have houses and yards and you know, like a lot of space. But in a lot of countries, people live in flats and apartments, so they might have just two rooms. So it's very difficult. There are a lot of decisions like that. In terms of recruitment, not much has changed of how we handle things. As we used to do Zoom, like I'm always doing Zoom sessions with Education USA offices and different other schools. So Zoom is not new to us. Though we cannot do the in-person college fairs, so that's different. Everything has been canceled, and of course there's no mobility at this time. But we are even more connected now with the students, and so I don't feel things have changed too much in the way we're doing things. But what is the uncertainty of providing clear answers? For example, as you all may know, the immigration and travel bans, they don't have a cut date when they will end. So it's very hard for our international students' perspective, students that are making now the decision to attend a school abroad, of will they go, will they stay, when they can apply for a visa. As you all know, the US embassies and consulates in most countries canceled the routine immigrant and non-immigrant visa appointments as of March 18. And it's very uncertain when they'll resume this routine visa services, which makes it impossible for us to advise. You know, students are accepted now at West Liberty, but they're waiting to see, okay, when can I get a visa? Without a visa, they cannot enter the United States. So there are a lot of barriers and frustration and worries, and this is I think, you know, we try to accept uncertainty and try to adapt as much as we can and make the best decisions.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
what it's crazy, crazy. I bet you're paying attention to the news a lot more.
Well, usually I always do, but now even more.
Yeah, yeah, but that's fine. So I've noticed, Brenda, I've noticed really no delay or stagnation in terms of you getting the word out and promoting West Liberty, but you just done it in different ways, like through video.
Absolutely.
Or so
Absolutely.
could you speak to what those type of things and what you're doing?
Absolutely. Yeah. I know well, when you were asking about our number, so our number for our first time freshmen last year, we're around 465. So that's our typically somewhere around 460 to 500 for our incoming freshman class. And our transfers usually track around 200, somewhere between 175 to 200 new students. So we're looking at having over 700 students here, hopefully in the fall. But some of the things that we've been doing, we are very fortunate to be able to add a chat feature to the admissions and international web pages. So we've been monitoring that, and that has been successful. We still, as Stephanie was saying, we did ramp it up with the book me appointments, trying to engage the students. But we've been using either phone. We are very fortunate that Joe Rodella and IT Services had our phones transferred to our laptops, so we're able to make and answer our own phone calls there. We're doing adding more video content. Like I said, this what's next is extremely important to us. So we've been working on, it should be done probably this week, to be able to post on our website a what's next video to help students and their parents. We get a lot of first generation students here that their parents aren't even sure what's next, what should I be doing. So we're really trying to engage them. As soon as we got the word that we're going to have to cancel our events, we started working on our web pages to make them more inclusive and to add more things. I know being on a web page, you just like bullets, but in this time, we took it up a notch and added more, PowerPoints on there, some more videos, and trying to push them those ways. And we're still, like we said, using the email. We've had communication plans in place. We've just been trying to step it up a little bit.
Stephanie, has anything changed, or is anything challenging in terms of registration, or have you noticed anything there, and are there any deadlines coming up for that?
I mean, right now we're just, having the students reach out to set up their appointments with their academic advisors, either department chair or the dean. So, we've been working real closely with them. So it seems like, everything's going smoothly so far with registration. And, right now, we're just starting today to start registering incoming freshmen once all of our current students had started registering. So I think we had Brenda, correct me, over 200 and some students who've signed up for orientation. So we will be starting those schedules starting today to get those started. And then transfers, like I said, I'll have more accurate numbers probably the middle of May.
Okay.
But so far it seems to be going smoothly. Also with the transfers, we've also, we had a couple transfer fairs that we were supposed to attend, in person, but they had changed those to Eastern Gateway Community College, had done a virtual fair, and West Virginia Northern Community College has done a virtual fair. So that seems to be, gone well, and the students seemed, real open to that.
Yeah, it seems like we're gonna have to stay on our toes in that world, because unfortunately one of the colleges in our athletic conference closed last week, and then also people, maybe non-traditional students who might be out of a job at this moment, might be looking to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So those things might be coming your way here in the next few months, right?
Yes, and typically this time of year is when we really get busy with the transfer students. At the end of the semester, when they're making decisions, when they're finishing up at their community college, or at their four-year institution if they've decided they want to make a change. This is the time where we really get busy.
Mia, how many students are actually living on campus right now, international students who didn't go home?
Yeah, we have currently 6 international students on campus. Some are exchange students through the Department of State, and even the Department of State is not able to book flights for them. Their program is ending now in May. They're here for just a semester, and this group that was left, they cannot return. Actually, the Department of State asked if they could stay longer through the summer as things remain so uncertain. And then we have 4 degree-seeking students still on campus that will stay on campus through the next semester.
And I know that usually you're the person who helps like bring them to the Highlands and stuff. But social distancing, how is that working?
Yeah, so the students are adapting and living in isolation on campus. But we've discussed these times are wonderful times to have to do this, because I was explaining to them when I first arrived in the United States, I was writing letters with my family. So I cannot even imagine going through a crisis like this and not having the internet. So, even though they're in isolation, they're so used to communicate with their family through the internet and through all these virtual means. So not much has changed other than, they're here for that exchange with the American people and experience the American culture. So that aspect of it is stagnating right now,
Yeah.
and they're not getting any of it. So, it's defeating the purpose and one of their other goals of being in another country and studying abroad. So, there are different things that we're doing to like keep them engaged. And now, they're purchasing their groceries through ClickList and all the online option. And, I run to, or my colleagues, we run to the grocery stores and get their grocery list and bring it on campus. Or, we are fortunate that now you can order things online. And a lot of us do that, including them. But, it's hard because the international students, they're always looking to connect. And they need that. So, it's really hard mentally and physically, just like this for all of us. But I think they're in a tighter place than most students that, their family is around. They can choose to connect differently. They're, for the lack of a better word, they're kind of stuck in some ways.
Yeah, they're on campus, on this beautiful campus with a couple other international students and President Griner.
Which, sometimes we talk and, I say, it's the best place to be because, if they're going to their home countries, there's so much human traffic on the streets and around. So honestly, I think they're in the best spot to be close to nature and being outside, be able to go outside and not have to worry about, so the proximity of other individuals around.
Yeah, when I talked with Dr. Loafman a couple weeks ago, and he mentioned he brought his family to Oglebay to go for a hike to get out of the house, and it was too crowded, so he just went to West Liberty Woods. Right? So we've been asking this to everyone. It's been really interesting, and I think there's like some common themes. But Brenda, why don't you start off with any kind of silver linings? Are there things that have been presented by the COVID-19 that have actually opened our eyes, or maybe will introduce things that we continue in the future?
Yes, I think I have two silver linings. The first one is, since we are forced into this virtual opportunities, and how can we recruit with not being on that face-to-face. And I've just been very proud of the staff, and we've jumped in there and creating some webinars We're going to have to do college fairs, a lot of college fairs virtually, and building your own instead of having a table, building it. And I think this is a good time for us to continue doing that. We've already got it started. And I think it will be a nice, when we get to go back and do face-to-face, it'll be a nice blend. There are a lot of students and even, you know, Mia's folks, the international students that would, you know, enjoy a black and gold event, coming to something like that and having it virtually. And the second thing for me is I am a people person, and I do miss seeing everybody on a daily basis, but communication wise, we really stepped it up here. The first couple weeks we were meeting every day, and now we meet like every other day with staff members. So we really didn't have that opportunity to sit down as a group, as a team, to be all together to hear everything that's going on. And I think that that's awesome, and I would like to continue that.
Yeah, I agree with that. How about you, Stephanie?
Okay, well, Brenda stole my one. That's communication, I think. Communication, I agree with her. I think that's, we've been able to, as a team, communicate a lot more, and to be able to set that time aside to communicate and make sure we're all on the same page. And the other one, you know, for myself, I think it's making me kind of think more out of the box, looking at those different opportunities, making me take advantage on how we can recruit students and different ways. So for me, I think it's making me broaden my horizons.
There you go.
How about you, Mia?
Well, I think we're learning and validating even more during these times that international education is so essential. And then we need to continue to focus on building bridges of understanding between the culture, and focus on international exchanges and international collaborations, trying to bring people together, you know, professional students, researchers, and, you know, just connect and exchange information and knowledge. And I mean, we've been doing this, but I think even now there's an opportunity for all of us to continue to be creative and innovative of how we can do this even more efficiently, and continue to utilize all this virtual and online tools that now, you know, we are more aggressively using.
And as of today, Scott might get mad to say this, but we do have more students coming next year than we did last year, right, Brenda?
That's the way it's been trending. Yeah, this whole
It's a
year
trend.
it's
We've
been
only
trending.
have to,
Yeah, it's trending. We've got the applications, we've got the accepted, you know, the students there. Now we just need to move them here.
move them here.
Mhm.
And so it seems like, to me, from my perspective and talking with you all today, that there's no reason why I won't keep trending that way, because you all are doing awesome things and working really hard. Is there anything that you left out that you wanted to say, or there you want to tell students and parents again, like how they can get in touch with everyone?
Oh, absolutely. They can, we're here 5
Mhm.
days a week, 8 to 4, or we answer our phones if they want to call us. As you said, you jumped and saw our contact page. You can jump on there. We can be reached by email, text, phone. You can sign up like Stephanie was talking about with the Zoom, and we're trying to reach out to students too, but we love it when they reach out to us.
Yeah.
And, you know, the main thing right now is to get them signed up for orientation. So, you know, they can go right on the website, just westliberty.edu, and right on the main page, it has a page to sign up for the orientation, both freshmen and transfer students. So
Okay.
for them, that's the next step.
Okay, Mia, any other words for your prospective students or parents?
Yeah, so we are currently, you know, trying to we created a page on our website, COVID-19 and impact on international students. So we are trying to post there all the changes coming immigration-wise, visas, and so forth, to make it easier for them to navigate and get the answers that they need. They as well can create a Zoom meeting with us, and we are flexible. Time zones are different, so it's a bit more complicated, but we're flexible. So when students try to interact with us face to face, we're adapting, and we're trying to meet them at their convenience.
Okay. Well, thank you all for your time. Thank you for everything that you do at West Liberty. It was really good to see you. Hopefully we can see each
Good
other
to
in
see
person.
you too.
Enjoy and listen to Safety Sal. Don't watch the news too much, Mia. And yesterday it rained for like 26 straight hours. So try to get out in the sun today. It's important.
That's right. It's good to see the sun shining.
Exactly.
Okay. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.